Hey guys, welcome to today's video, and in today's video we'll be covering how to make a bear trap system similar to the one found in the granny horror games in Unreal Engine 5. So the way it's going to work is you have your bear trap, and when we walk into it, it closes, and then we have to spam a certain key, and then we've got this blood building up on the screen as well. Then we can spam it a certain amount of times, then it all goes away and the bear trap's back to normal. Let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create a new folder and import all of your assets. So the model and the animations I'm going to be using, I'm going to link in the description. So now once you got everything imported, inside your content browser, right click and look for blueprint class and select actor. We can call this BP bear trap. We can double click to open. Once we're inside, go to the content browser, and then you can drag the skeletal mesh into the components over here. And as you see, the model I'm using is really small, so first I'm going to scale it up by 50, and then as you see now it's up here, so it might take some time to adjust, but we want to bring it so that it's roughly in the same position as this circle over there. So we can just adjust it, come closer to become more precise, and bring it up a little bit right here. And it, as you guys see, it's almost there, so I'm just gonna move it exactly, and that's good for now. So we can compile and save. Then once more, just click on the default scene root, and then over here where it says add, just click add, and we'll get a box collision. And then we want to scale the collision down so it's just pretty small at the center of the trap. We can move it up and scale it up a little bit. We can keep it like this. So now while you have the box collision selected, in the details panel, scroll all the way down, and then in events we want to look for on component begin overlap. We can click on that, and then out of other actor we're going to get cast to BP first person character. So now whatever comes out of here will only work if we can cast to the BP first person character. So basically only if the BP first person character gets hit by the box gets hit by the main character. And also we just want to make sure something. So in the details panel over here, for the skeletal mesh, we want to select use animation asset, and we want to untick looping, so we can compile and save. So inside event graph, next thing we want to do is drag out and look for do once, and then out of completed we'll call a short delay around 0.2 seconds, and we'll drag out from the bear trap, and then we'll play animation. And the new animation is going to be the default, the bear trap animation that we got over here. And make sure looping is also unchecked over here. So we can check this out. I'm going to drag this into the world and bring this up a little bit. So now when I collide, as you see, the animation plays. But we also want the player to stop, so the next thing we're going to need to do is right click anywhere and get player controller. Get player controller. Then out of return value, we want to set ignore move input, and we want to tick new move input. So now as you can see, we go here. So actually we can remove the delay. We actually don't need the delay. If your character's movement speed is a bit slower, I would keep the delay though. But so as you see now, once I've collided with the box, I cannot move anymore. So if you guys can hear, I'm clicking, I'm moving around, but I can't. The next thing we need to do is create the widget that will basically tell the player what to do when they've been trapped. So inside your main folder over here, or whatever folder you're using for this bear trap, right click in the content browser and scroll all the way down till you get user interface, and click on widget blueprint. Then click on user widget, and we can call this widget bear trap. You can double click to open it, and then in the palette we want to search for a canvas panel. You can drag that out. We can drag this all the way to fit the biggest screen size. Then we want to get some text. Then we can call it spam, and then whatever key you want for the player to be released. So actually I might use R, or actually we'll do G. I think I might be using R already. Then to remove trap. So then also you can click size to context, and the size select, you can increase the size to maybe 35, and then the font you can change to whatever. And the alignment over here we can change it to 0.5 and 0.5, so the pivot point is essentially in the center over here. And then we can select on anchors and click on the center anchor, and the position X we can set as 0, the position Y we can set as around 400. So now out of this, ignore move input, we want to create widget, and then the class is going to be the widget bear trap, and out of the return value we're going to add to viewport. So let's check it out now. So as you see, now we're inside the trap, and we've got this screen over here. The next thing you're going to want to do is go into your BP first person character, and we can create a variable called trap count or trap counter, and we can set this as an integer. So whatever key we specified over here, we want to search for that. So I'm going to search for G key. Then under keyboard events you'll find it. So out of pressed we're going to get a branch, and the condition is going to be, we're going to get the trap count, and if it's less than 9 for example, we're just going to increase the trap count by 1. So we're going to drag out get trap count, and we're going to increment int, so that increases by 1. Before we configure this false, let's go back into the BP bear trap. Let's add a custom event. Add custom event release player. So out of release player we want to get this get the skeletal mesh. We want to select play animation, and we just want to leave this blank, so we can compile and save. And also the next thing we need is we want to get player controller, and then set movement, set ignore move input. We can leave that unchecked this time, and we also want to remove this widget over here. So we want to get all widgets of class. The widget class is going to be the widget bear trap. For found widgets we're going to call a for each loop, and out of our array element we're going to remove from parent, and that should be it. So now inside BP first person character, out of the false we're going to call a do once, and then out of completed we're going to get actor of class. Then the actor class is going to be BP bear trap, and our return value we're going to call release player. So let's test it out now. This should be it. So once we're in here, the widget spawns and the animation plays, and when I click on this 10 times, 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, it's gone. I can move around, and the trap has been put back to normal. And basically the number of times you're going to need to click the key is going to be one more than whatever you put in here. So since I put 9, it's going to be 10. So the last thing you're going to want to do is import the picture for blood border. Make sure it has a transparent background into your content browser, and then double click on your widget for the BP bear trap. Then you want to look for an image, select that, drag that into the canvas, and as a brush click on this, and the image is going to be your blood border over here. So we can just drag it in like that. Then we can scale this and make it the right size, and we can set the alignment to 0.5 and just center it like that, and just make sure everything is correct. We also would like to change the opacity. So over here, color and opacity, this a value over here, we can reduce that. So I'm going to keep it at 0.2 actually. So we can compile and save. And now when we're here, as you can see, this thing has come on. However, we want it to sort of smoothly come onto the screen so it looks a little better. So we're going to click on the image over here and go to animations at the bottom of the page. We're going to click on add animation and we're going to call this load, or we'll call it load blood. Then we can click on it. Then we're going to add image 0, and then first over here we're going to go to color and opacity and set the opacity to 0. Sorry, 1 second. I'm going to set the opacity to 0. You can click on animations. So click on dock in layout first, then click on load blood, click on image 0, and click on this diamond over here after you've set the opacity to 0. Then after 1.5 seconds, let's say, I'm going to bring the opacity to 0.25. I'm going to click on the keyframe again. So as you see now, it slowly comes on. So in the event graph, on event construct, I'm going to, over here in the side where it's the animations, we're going to get load blood. We're going to play animation, just like that. So we can try it out like this. So as you see, now we're in the trap and the blood has loaded slowly like this. And then it should remove the widget.